Me.
Wake your punk ass up for the 2023 shot.
Oh, that's a shot.
Go ahead.
Okay. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light, from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being to become realized into physical realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. It's now being to becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now. Being and becoming the great primordial dragon god sun kundalini flame now whirling and ascending up our spine from our root chakra to our central heart chakra, on up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amunel Dragra, our hidden priestly grandmaster magi dragon god sun king and queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon god sun kings and queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, willing all the forces, all the powers, all the elements, all the essences, dark matter and dark energy within the absolute all, and to being to becoming all of our will servants, serving all of our wills, objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into physical realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be now, being becoming an active force of unstoppable energy that we all need now to help us overcome all of the obstacles, adversities, in our lives, completely dissolving all of our worries, lack, problems, and fears into nothingness. Now, manifesting into our lives as all of the substance that we need to will and command our life into the proper order and law that we are now will and command and desire our lives to be. As I affirm the positive abundance in the absolute all, as nichness of oneness in the absolute all, manifesting into my reality as divine love, perfect health and vitality, the abundance of prosperity and the absolute all, enriching my life and the lives of everyone around me while protecting me from the evil of human thoughts and evil deeds against me and my family, neutralizing all of my enemies, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and destruction upon the evil, soulless, counterfeit spirits, the ignorant, walking dead automatons and their Lord and God, the demiurge, and its archonic forces, enslaving and feeding off of the energy of the divine spark, the Kundalini race, and all of the entities and deities aligned with Yaldabaoth, who slayed our souls before creation, trapping them all in its prison of this physical realm of physical matter to be born, live, suffer, and die over and over again and again for centuries and millenniums until now. Because now's the time of our rise as we all ascend to conscious unity, as now's the time of their fall as all out war, judgment, death, and destruction is upon them all, as we are now willing commanded to be, through the power, force, and might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light, from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into physical realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Abracadabra, ashe.
Presto changeo, Ashe.
Ashe. Crown Chakra Day, libations. Aim the nothingness, Ashe. Aim soft, or Aim soft, the infinite, Ashe. Aim soft, or the infinite light, Ashe. Adam Catman, Atik Yaman, the ancient of ancients, the most ancient of days, the primordial Christ, Ashe. Absolute emanations, the manifesting as the holy divine names, the cosmic Christ, Ashe. The great abyss of Gnosis, manifesting as the crown of Zeramp and the small face, the indwelling Christ, Ashe. Berea, form, creation, and paradise, manifesting as my holy, divine, infinite, magical, dark archangels and demons, Ashe. Yetzirah, formation, manifesting as my holy, divine, infinite, magical orders of dark angels and demons, Ashe. Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, manifesting as my holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly kingdom, Ashe. Yeshida, the holy, divine, infinite, magical spark, manifesting as my holy, divine, infinite, magical will, Ashe. Heya, the holy, divine, infinite, magical life force, manifesting in me as my holy, divine, infinite, magical desire, Ashe. Neshama, my holy, divine, infinite, magical, heavenly soul, manifesting in me as my holy, divine, infinite, magical, heavenly thoughts, Ashe. Ruach, my holy, divine soul, manifesting as my holy, divine, infinite, magical words spoken through me as I, Ashe. Nephish, my holy, divine, earthly soul, manifesting into physical realization, actualization, and form as I will and commanded to be, Ashe. Kether, the crown, Ashe. Hakma, the supernal father, Ashe. Bana, understanding and intelligence, the supernal mother, Ashe. Doth, the great abyss of gnosis, Ashe. Hased, mercy, Ashe. Gavura, judgment, Ashe. Tiferet, beauty, Ashe. Netzik, victory, Ashe. Hot, glory, Ashe. Yasad, foundation, Ashe. Malkut, the kingdom, Ashe. The power, force, might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the cosmic flower constantly blooming the absolute all into being, Ashe. Zorabanda, Ashe. El Cristo Negro, Ashe. Las Espiritus Tranquilos, Ashe. La Santisima Muerte, Ashe. San Simon, Ashe. San El Cristo Rey, Ashe. Madre de la Luna, Ashe. Madre de Aqua, Ashe. La Santisima Padre Amen, Ashe. Francisco de la Sete Reyes, Ashe. Mama Shola, Ashe. Labado, Ashe. Luigi, Ashe. Atima, Ashe. Ogawado, Ashe. Poa, Ashe. Ogawadi, Ashe. Leoa, Ashe. Gadugo, Ashe. Boasta, Ashe. Amatez, Ashe. Awadage, Ashe. Asathoth, Ashe. Yaxathoth, Ashe. Nyarlathotep, Ashe. Cthulhu, Ashe. Hester, Ashe. Shub-Niggurath, Ashe. Lilith, Ashe. Tiamat, Ashe. Sekhmet, Ashe. Kingu, Ashe.
Order out of chaos beings, Ashe. Isis,
Rudra,
Ashe. Asar, Ashe. Cyrus, Ashe. Destiny, Ashe. Empress, Ashe.
Awas, Ashe. Typhon, Ashe. Leviathan, Ashe. Sebeth, Ashe. Set, Ashe. Apep, Ashe. Rudra, Ashe. Verdra, Ashe. Shiva, Ashe. Brahma, Ashe. Vishnu, Ashe. Kuan Yin, Ashe. All order, all chaos beings out of order, Ashe. And to all
And all
gods
the
and goddesses,
God and goddesses unknown and none and known and unknown, Ashe.
Ashe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want to, because, like, my thing is the mass majority of people are not in tune with the nature of themselves. They're not in tune with the nature of themselves, so they're lost in their existence,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes any sense.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
we live in a reality the fabric of this reality permeates that. So
Yeah,
it's going to take a lot of effort and energy for one, once they become aware of who they are, where they are, and what they're really up against. Then it's going to take a lot of energy and the willpower to swim across against the current to get
you
to.
are the current.
Hmm?
You are the current, and you're swimming against yourself. That's what I mean about being in tune with your nature, because we look at everything outside of ourselves as an adversary. But
Well,
everything that outside of ourselves that would be considered an adversary or seemingly an adversary is actually a manifestation that you created. You created that. Like, put it like this. Just look at most people and their energy based on how they're gravitating things towards them, and they don't even understand how am I, like most women say, why am I attracting the same type of man, right? And it's like, you don't understand that you're attracting the same type of man because you're vibrating at a certain frequency,
which means you're manifesting the wrong way. The man is the manifester. Man is thought. Man is mental. You take, what's the first three words of the word mental? Men.
Oh, well, no doubt. I mean, once you really break it down, we represent that, like, harsh intelligence that permeates the whole universe.
Well, okay, what we really are is the higher mental realm, which is higher mantis, or you can call the Buddhic, not the Buddhic, but the goddamn, I just had this.
Okay, yeah, but what I was saying is we represent logic, and women really represent finesse. You feel me? They don't like, I was talking to a sister the other day. I was like, y'all messed up trying to imitate men because y'all have this twisted ass view that men run the world. And I'm like, y'all have bought into that so much that now y'all think acting like a man is how you get an advantage in this society. No, because women in ancient times, they had a hell of a strength that allowed them to balance the scales as it pertained to this equality between men and women. Men and women are not equal. We're complementary forces.
Uh-huh.
And that's the thing women don't understand. A lot of women don't understand, and men don't understand that, no, our energies complement each other. We're not supposed to be equal. Women are not supposed to be strong physically. No. Why? They have other strengths that make them far more advanced than a man.
Well, I wouldn't say that, because a long time ago, women used to be warriors. They used to be stronger than men. I mean, one time the women were the ass kickers.
You said that as if you were so confident about what you're talking about. What's the research on that, bro? Research a couple of movies that came out. Now we thinking women can beat up men, huh? Okay.
Well, okay. Okay. The Great Mother, she gave birth to the son without a counterpart, without her other half or whatever.
It was there all the time. It was inside of her. She just manifested it outside of her.
Yeah, well, the father is supposed to be an invisible principle.
Yes.
And the son is the manifestation of that.
Yeah. It was always present. It was just her duality within her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I recognize that. I remember I studied this thoroughly, where
And in
women literally
Gnosticism, it
didn't
was
have
Eve.
didn't need a man to actually have
Have a,
babies.
yeah,
You know what
and then
I'm
in
saying?
Gnosticism,
Why?
it was Eve.
Because that dynamics is in her genetics. The source of that whole process is in her genetics. So all you have to do is duplicate it within her genetics, and then you can produce babies without there being men. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking away. This is what I'm trying to get to the point. Like women have bought into this is a man's world, and it wouldn't be nothing without a woman. Of course, we know the song, but
Yeah.
the thing about it is a lot of women think that translate that as, oh, I gotta be more like mannish. I gotta have a masculine disposition and shit. No, that's not who y'all are. Y'all can be feminine and be strong. 'Cause we have a twisted ass view of that energy, right? Because we have bought into the Western world idea of these things, bro. That's the thing. These are Western world thoughts. These are not our ancient thoughts.
Well, see,
So
Catholicism, when Constantine, the real true Antichrist, when he took over and they had all those councils where they came up with the Bible, and he crucified just about everyone else who was still down with the ancient school. I mean, he boiled his mother in oil. He killed his wife because they were still down with the ancient school and they wasn't down with that bullshit. So that shit took over the world and fucked up the poles in everybody's brain. I mean, the whole world is fucked up from that shit.
because of that. Yeah, because there was a campaign to get rid of the mother deity, to
Yeah.
get rid of the mother deity, and that all coincides with the conquering of the indigenous people.
Yeah.
Because the indigenous people, all of the indigenous people, they had a unique system where it wasn't patriarchy, but it was seemingly from the outside Western world view a patriarch, because women had a different position than within this society, right? So people would just judge, okay, that was a matriarch, right? But it wasn't necessarily that. It was a balance. It was like a society where there was a unique balance there that we haven't reached in this society, because we're vibrating on such a low vibration that we can't reach that balance here.
Well, we have to get off of the Judeo-Christian paradigm. We have to get off not just that, but all religious paradigms, because they're all.
I agree. All of them are male chauvinist religions that are pushing this idea of the woman being subordinate or subservient in some type of way. All of them are pushing that shit, and she is the beginning of all.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You know
from her womb comes
on a cosmic level and on a humanity level.
Yeah, in Gnosticism, she's called Barbellus, and from her womb comes the absolute all.
Right.
There was
That's
nothing
what we
higher
talk about
than
when we talk
Barbellus.
about the absolute all. That's what else could we be talking about when we talk about the absolute all?
Her.
What else could we be talking about?
You ain't talking about no dick.
Listen, man, that's homosexual. That's where that homosexual shit come in. And I don't run that way. I'm good.
Nope.
I'm good.
I'm not rolling with Zeus and them.
Nah. nah. I'm cool on them motherfuckers, man. On the freaky Greeks. Yeah, I ain't fucking with the Greek. I ain't fucking with the Greeks.
Osiris had two freaks in his arms. He had Isis and Nephthys.
But you see how that energy is seeping itself into this society gradually, man. It's like people don't see how the LGBTQ community is a gateway to legalizing and normalizing pedophilia, allegedly.
Well, that should, okay, well, down here in the physical world, this rim is so low to where it is very possible for shit like that to go on. I mean, shit like that don't go on anywhere probably, but down here in this fucked up physical realm, because it's the lowest expression of the spirit.
Wow.
And so it's, the matter here is very heavy. The ego rules down here, and the
Right.
ego is Satan. The ego is the devil.
Right.
Lower ego. This is the root chakra. Yeah.
Right.
Satan rules the root chakra, baby.
How do you defeat the devil? So you control your ego.
You raise the energy. You clear the pathway, and you raise that. He's supposed to raise Lucifer from down here up here to Christ.
Right.
You bring the energy up. You rise.
Right. Really, it's like how heaven come down to earth type of energy is supposed to happen with inside of you.
Well, we are heaven that came down to earth. Man is heaven that came down to earth. Man is the mental realm. Man represents the mental realm, the causal realm. And man is connected to the other two realms above that, which is the bliss realm and the Atma. So the causal body pulls from Atma, which is the highest. These three realms, the causal body, the bliss body, and Atma, are formless. The other four realms below that has form. And so in this one down here, the physical realm, is where, it all takes shape at. Down here, everything is possible. Everything is possible.
Right.
Because we're within the absolute all, the infinite, and the infinite can express itself in every different way. There's nothing outside of the absolute all. So everything that's happening, good or bad, is happening within the all. And if it's happening within the all, and we're connected with the all, I don't think that means we're not in control. I think when you tap into that, we can be in control.
I mean, yeah, it's the delusion. It's the devil that.
Well,
it's the devil that it's the devil, meaning your double self. Your double. Your devil. It's
your lower ego.
Yourself. It's aspects of yourself that is manifesting into these different, like you just explained, you got these different realms, and we are the manifestors of the manifestors of all of these particular realms through our minds, right? We manifest things on these particular realms, and not just on a physical level, like building something or constructing or engineering something.
No, but with that's only on the physical realm.
Yeah, right, your mind can literally. Let me finish, brother. Let me finish. Okay. Your mind can actually literally manifest things in a mental realm that are just as efficient or effective on your existence as the physical realm. Even more effective. Go ahead, brother.
No, you said you took the words out of my damn mouth.
Right. So it's like we got to understand that, and then it's another level of the spiritual aspects of it, right? Because when you go into the spiritual aspects of it, then you really are going into the infinite part of yourself. Like it's like there is no end now. Like you're
non-material.
It's
Yeah,
like
the
it's non-material because
shape.
I kind of like to explain it how there's an episode of that on that show that I was telling everybody to look at the new Star Trek series. I forgot what it was called.
Oh,
But
yeah, it was name. It was. It has a name like
Orville, something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. But
Yeah.
they had an episode on it where they found a pocket dimension where if they entered into that frequency, that they will go into the second dimension, right?
Ooh.
So they end up fucking up the experiment because they were doing experiments because that's the whole point of the Orville to go out there, explore. You know how the original mission statement of the Star Trek. Y'all supposed to go out there, explore, and discover new shit. But they was tampering with shit out there. They was doing experiments. Yeah, tampering with shit. So they end up in the second dimension, right? But they had a filter over them so they wouldn't be totally in the second dimension. So there was entities in the second dimension that can't even comprehend or conceive of the third dimension.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And then there's other entities that are on higher dimensions. They ask question, okay, so there are fifth dimensional beings right now that are on a higher plane of existence than us right now that could be, and we call those more likely gods and higher deities and shit. You know what I'm saying? These multi-dimensional beings, because once you go beyond a certain level of dimensional existence, you become multi-dimensional. You already are, but you discover that multi-dimensional aspect of yourself.
Well, that's on the astral plane. Okay, if you like here in the physical plane, if you get a square, it'll be like 4 boxes. Okay, but a square on the astral plane has more dimensions to it than the square here on the physical plane.
Right.
They don't look the same. Matter changes on the astral realm and the etheric realm and the astral realm. It's totally different and it's more elastic. So it's not confined to just certain points like it is here. It can go, there's points outside of points that we can't observe here, but in these higher planes, you can observe different points, totally different points.
So matter. Go ahead, brother.
So it's real geometrical, but still, this is still being expressed on the 4 lower subdivisions, which is all illusions. Like we were saying, in those other 3 divisions above that, it's non-physical, but the energy from those non-physical realms can be channeled or funneled into these more material realms or more realms with shapes, and you can use that energy from up there to bring it down here to express the higher world down here in the lower worlds, to change the matter in the lower worlds and that's how you bring heaven down to earth.
Right, because when we say heaven and earth, these are vibrational. These are vibrational points of existence. These are vibrational points of existence.
Yeah, and they're right here. They're right here.
Right.
Yeah, there's other dimensions right here, right now that we can't see. So there's a whole another world that's going on right here in front of us.
Okay, let's even go deeper, because most people have used matter as meaning physical reality. No, matter is a substance made up of various types of particles that occupies physical space and has inertia, right? Inertia, INERTIA, right? What the
Inertia.
fuck is inertia? Yeah, I said inertia, right? Inertia,
Inertia.
right? What the fuck is inertia? Inertia is the tendency to do nothing, or to remain unchanged, right?
Immutable.
Immutable, right? It's a
Hmm.
property of matter by which is continuous. It continues in its existence state of rest of unformity, movement, and straight line, right? So we have a misconception of matter itself
Well,
because
you have many different type of matter. You got astral matter. You got
right,
mental matter. Astral matter is made up of the emotions. It's
right.
because that's the emotional body. Well, it's the emotional realm, and so there the emotions rule. But above that is the mental realms, and then that's made out of mental matter. That's a whole
Right.
different form of matter. Matter in the mental worlds is far more superior than the matter in the emotional worlds or in the
So
astral world.
the Western world, but even though they talk about what we're talking about behind closed doors, they're
Hmm.
presenting a version of their idea of reality that is not complete. They're not telling you the complete story. They're just giving you three-dimensional orientations.
And the reason for that is because of commerce. They
Right,
need,
because they have to make you a mindless consumer,
yeah.
right? So they
Hmm.
have to make you more robotic. At the end of the day, this is how this is another way they're controlling reality by, like you said, indoctrinating us and not
And
revealing the complete essence of reality.
and not only that, it's feeding them. It's making them richer, keeping them in power.
Right, because now we're not sophisticated enough to basically see the broader picture and connect the dots. Whenever I talk to people, they don't care about the big picture. They don't give a fuck. They just care about their, and that's purposely done. That's systematic.
Well, that way you keep workers. You keep Frankenstein, or you either got workers or you got victims.
Right,
Either way, you got subjects.
right. But it's like the social engineering that they're subjecting them to is making them mindless automatons that are not only happy about their enslavement, but they're going to fight anybody who tries to even speak against their enslavement to them and tell them, "Oh, you a slave." You see how, like I tell people all the time, that you think you're free, but at the same time, they're just playing off of your desires, your lower self desires. You're not free.
Any
They're just giving you
anytime
your desires, and then that is looked at as freedom now.
anytime if you're trapped in a physical body, you're not free. If you're
No doubt.
living in a if the garment you wear
And the
is a bag full of meat, you're not free.
right, and the way that happens is you're under the three-dimensional orientation. You think you are your physical body. I have to explain this to people all the time. If you think you are your physical body, you limit yourself just now in your own existence. You that's a
But
frequency. That's a
but not
frequency that
only
you
that,
put yourself in. You lock yourself into that frequency.
okay, but still, let's go outside of that. Let's look at the genius. Okay, we're okay. So most people, their brains is only picking up no higher than the astral realms, and probably just the lower astral realms of the seven sub realms. Very few brains is picking up energy from the mental realms, and if so, it's
Right.
probably the lower mental realm. And the brains that are picking up energies subtle energy from higher mental realm, which is higher manas, those are some real geniuses. But every now
Right.
and then you might get some brains that are picking up energy from Atma or the Buddhic realm. Those are, like your Buddhas or, the Krishnas, motherfuckers that, down here in the physical realm, even though they were in a physical body like us, but they were still able to every now and then get little fractals of the higher mental realm, because our brains can only get so much at a time. We can only get little fractals of the higher mental realms at a time.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
we can only get a fraction of the picture, if that.
I think we limit ourselves to a fraction of the picture based on we haven't broadened our understanding, and and that's systematically done to not allow us to go into those innate aspects of our thoughts.
Well, the brain only
Limit-
brain is only gonna it's still kind of limiting. It can only it's only designed to pick up so much. But then again, they
Yeah,
say we only use 5% of our
the brain.
brains. So,
Yeah, the brain is, but not the mind.
oh well, that mind. Well, those fractions that we get is our eternities. Okay, but we're only still just getting a fraction of something that's very, very vast.
Right.
But you keep getting enough of those, you'll be able to manifest something that's very, very great down here in the physical world.
Right.
Yeah, it's the
So
energy that you're pulling. It's what you're pulling from. It's all about what you're pulling from. If you're pulling from
right.
the lower subplanes, then those are going to be the entities and deities that are going to have the influence in your life, and you're going to be manifesting from that level. But you're going to be
Right.
manifesting as their slave. You're not going to be the king or the queen manifester.
Right. I mean, I don't think most people are even utilizing their because when you talk about manifest, you're talking about creation. Like we talk about the creator all the time, the creator.
We're talking about
We're talking about ourselves.
yeah, we're
We're
talking
talking
about
about ourselves
yeah,
because what
because
outside of ourselves, huh?
man is the manifest. Man isn't a physical being. Man is a spiritual being. Man is the physical realm. I mean, the spiritual realm, the causal realm. Man is, and that's thinking, the intelligence, the mental realm. Everything mental. That's what man is. This is just an expression in the physical realm of man, or the thinker caught in the physical body or encaptured. But what we really truly are is the spirit realm, the spiritual realm, the mental realm, the higher mental realms. And then where we
No,
get our
that's not
energy,
what we. Not no nope. That
man is.
limited. No, we are all of it, and all of it. We are all of it. We are
Yeah,
every
we're
aspect
all.
of ourselves. We cannot deny it. We cannot deny it. We cannot like that's the thing. I think that's what the problem is that we try to exclude aspects of ourselves, and that's part of why we it always come back as a flaw. Because if you try
Okay,
to
well, you got a
like
point there. Yeah,
religious,
well,
like the religious community, let me finish, brother. Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
Like the religious community think that the whole mission is to destroy the devil. No, the mission is not to destroy the devil. The mission is to understand the vibration, the energy, the states of being that we
Well,
all are that we all are experiencing, and we all have experienced and will experience. If we
I did read
understand it, and
that we each one of us is an aspect of the absolute all, and there's nothing that can happen outside of the absolute all. So, of course, by accepting that we are all and eachness of oneness of the absolute all, then I can never exclude any. There's I mean, it's irrelevant for me to exclude myself from any part of what's happening because there's nothing outside of the all. However, the all, however, I can, but still at the same token, I can manipulate these lower four subdivisions because they are illusions. And so they can be manipulated by me. Or and when I say me, I'm not just me, only me. I'm talking about the same me. I'm talking about the same me that's in you and each one of us, higher manas.
that's more of who you are than that individual you. The
Well, that
individual you is you
individual.
too. But that individual you is you too. But
Mhm.
you more of the collective than you are the individual. Or the balance is where you set it inside of your existence, inside of your frequencies that you're creating. Because we're manifesting the energies. We, like you said, we manifesting it. It depends on where you balance it out inside of your energies. Because
Well,
at
see,
the
we're
end of
going
the
to
day,
conscious unity. So each
right? I
one,
mean, that's what I'm saying. That anything else is the delusion. It's like that's part of the delusion which we supposed to come out of. Delusion is See, when you say illusion, the mental aspect of that is delusion.
delusion.
Yes.
Well, it's,
So you under the delusion that we're separate,
oh,
and we're
there is
not.
no, well, no, but see, but that is a part of the process, though. To be under the illusion of separation is part of the process to achieve a certain thing. But
What?
that we don't
What?
stay, but that
What?
doesn't mean we're supposed to stay.
You say achieve a certain thing. What is the thing that's supposed to be achieved?
Uh, it this thing this well what
Balance.
appears to be an eachness of oneness,
A
even
balance.
though even though um, what's being achieved is an aspect of the absolute all experiencing itself, having the illusion of experiencing itself outside of itself, apart from itself as an individual, but then again, and then becoming conscious of itself
Okay.
and
So
and experiencing itself as an individual while at the same time um, still an eachness of oneness of the absolute all. It's like a little aspect of infinity having an experience of individuality and being
the
able.
point is for all those supposed separate entities to realize its oneness. right? So
Mm-hmm.
when all of those supposed separate from the mother, because then you're not separate from the primordial mother. It's like that's the source, that's the all.
Well,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
think,
So
yeah,
the
I said
source.
that.
Let me
There's no
finish, brother. Let
uh-huh.
me finish.
Okay.
Allow me to finish, brother. The
All right.
is the building blocks. You can't. It's just like how mitochondrial DNA explains all of the trace that you can trace all of the evolutionary. Um, you can trace all the evolutions inside of humanity back to that mitochondrial, right? Because I'm talking about what science has been able to utilize that knowledge of the mitochondrial. They have been able to trace epigenetics, right, back to specific areas. They can tell you about what your ancestors used to eat. They can tell you about their disposition, emotional disposition, the chemical background of these people. They can do that much just based on just studying that aspect of the mother, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
tracing back to the mother. So what I'm saying is
Mm.
we are under the delusion that we're separate from the mother just to realize that, damn, I'm still a part of the great mother. And she it's by her grace, basically. It's by her grace. Not that I'm subordinate to the mother because I'm her son. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Well, but she kind of allowed this to happen, though, or it happened, and so she's
Uh,
dealing with it. Either
Adversity
she
makes
allowed
you
it to
stronger.
happen, or huh?
Adversity makes you stronger, brother.
Yeah.
On every aspect of you. So you can't reach your highest states of being just by taking it easy and having everything like they used to say. They used to say, "Oh, the utopia," and how did something become a utopia? Right? If something became a utopia, that was a big struggle before then.
There was a
There was
conflict
there
before.
was a great war. There was a
Yeah.
great war before then.
And out of that war came many innovations that now
Yeah,
that is no longer being used to fight and kill, but to transport and to do all kind of wonderful things to evolve civilization. But
right.
it's a trip big, but all of that comes from out of a violent situation.
Yes,
And out of the most violent situation is born a new beginning,
yes,
a new light, a new
right.
life that that will go on and then eventually reach the same point again and do the same thing all over.
Right. So the thing about it is, I think we have to reevaluate everything that we've been orientated and referenced to think of certain things, like the end of the world. That's one thing. Demons. We've been referenced to think of demons as something evil, and we need to avoid demons and all that stuff. But upon further research, you have to understand what these things mean in the ancient world, the etymology of this stuff, man. When you're talking about a demon, you're talking about an elemental. You're talking about an entity or a
Energy.
manifestation that literally is a messenger between worlds, right? So it's serious. It's serious business when you get down to the metaphysical and occult understanding of these things. This is deep science. You cannot deny the a level of what you call innovation of spiritual innovation. You know what I'm saying? That was made, and we just totally lost that in this society. Like, no, they haven't lost it. They just don't teach it to the general public.
Yeah, they don't teach it to, but subconsciously, some of us still have it. We just
It's
don't
in our
know.
genes. It's in our
Yeah,
genes.
yeah, we're using it. We just don't understand. We just don't know the right lingo or we yeah, we just don't the language, but we know the sacred geometry is written inside of us.
That intelligence is innate inside of
But
our
that's who we
DNA.
are. We're manis. Okay, that's because we're mental. We're mental. We're mental beings. We're not physical beings. We're mental beings from the higher mental worlds. Okay, above the sub-dimensional, these sub worlds.
I think we are multi-dimensional beings, and the mental. Like, at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
but
we are
yeah,
multi-dimensional beings. But the thing about it is, the mental realm has been one of the main realm that we kind of control all of these realms, because you can only control it with the mind. The mind is mind over matter. It's not matter over mind. So the mind is like the mediator to control and manipulate the matter around you. You know what I'm saying?
yes, I can't disagree with that. I'm not going to disagree. Well, like I said before, we're eachness of oneness in the absolute all. Okay, so we're a miniature aspect of the absolute all.
But guess what?
However,
But guess what? But guess what? Just because we're a miniature version of the absolute all, and I agree with you, we have the same potentiality as the absolute all. We have the same energy, the same energy capacity as the absolute all.
yeah, that's because we're manas, higher manas. Through higher manas, we have that.
Right.
Okay, through higher manas. Higher manas
Uh,
is how shit gets done.
well, regardless of what language, like you said, the language, we say the same thing.
Yeah, higher
Regardless,
manas is how the
we're
eternal gets shit
fragmented
done.
versions we're fragmented versions of the absolute all
Mm-hmm.
that have the same potent potentiality.
Yep. There's no one way. Nobody don't have no one answer. Nobody don't have a monopoly on the one truth.
And that's the great thing about it, and why it's it leads to and inevitably organically leads to justice, freedom, and things of that nature, equality. You know what I'm saying? On
Anywhere,
a cosmic
everywhere.
level.
Yeah. On the mental level, because it can be mentally transmitted through the mental world, there's space and time becomes no more. There are no more borders.
Oh no, space and time is a construct too. Like you said, mental all is mind. Once you get
Hmm.
those principles of Tahuti, the principle they call it the Hermetic principles. No, they
Yeah.
the principles of Tahuti. And guess
Uh-huh.
what? A lot of people don't even know that Tahuti's wife was Ma'at.
Damn.
Yes, that was his wife.
And they says Sachet used to whisper in his ears.
I thought that was my aunt that was whispering in his ear. Okay, I'm not sure. I thought that was my aunt that was whispering in his ears, but it also said,
Yeah, I heard
okay,
she was whispering in somebody's ears.
right.
Yeah.
But we got to understand that the impact of Tahuti on our existence right now, because he was the bridge between energy that we are so far away from.
Detach.
He was the bridge between them energies and shit, those states of beings.
Yeah. And also Solomon.
Solomon, ooh, oh my God, very
Because
powerful. Very, y'all don't understand.
Solomon
You are Solomon too. That's the thing.
and
Soul of man,
Solomon
the
used the
soul of man.
72. He used those 144 spirits, the 72 keys, the upper keys and the lower keys, which is 144 of the demons in that seal to help him build the temple of God.
Right.
And the temple of God is not a building. It's not a structure. It's not a physical structure. The temple of God is the inner temple of man.
Right.
So he's using these inner demons and these inner angels to help him build the inner temple of God within.
Right. The angels, the one gave him the seals and the seals to actually control that world, that demon realm.
The demons, they
The
gave him
angels
the
gave him the seals.
science. They gave him the science, the mechanics,
Right.
the geometry.
Listen, that story alone dispels the whole misconception or the colloquial idea of a demon. That should dispel that whole idea right there.
That's the
Come on now, y'all gotta read this. Y'all gotta read that Solomon shit, man. Y'all got to read that shit.
The Goetia. They need to read. Yeah, they need to go check out Brother Panic on the Goetia. He'll lead you in the right way, give you all the references you need to go.
Right.
He'll tell you about it.
Brother Panic is the one. You need. I'm about to go order his book and shit. So yeah, he's the man.
Panic and Aline Bay.
Oh yeah,
Bay is a monster.
I've been on Aline. I've been on Aline for about a couple of years now. Like I was watching his video. He's like the first Moor that I was watching. I mean, the first proclaimed Moor I was watching this video. So yeah, we gotta get the last words out, brother. Get your last words out.
Well, shit. It's Christmas Eve. Everybody don't even have the real true meaning of what Christ means.
It's the galactic cross, man. That's why I call it Xmas. It's talking about the galactic cross and how reaching certain. The sun itself is reaching certain part in its rise, and because it got the helical rising, it got the helical his helical rising reaches highest point at this time of the season. Basically, that's what it's talking about.
Yeah, but also it's also inner in the Hermetic. It's talking about some shit being secreted inside of us too through our spinal fluid. All these magical fluids that we got inside of us that, once you focus on in a certain way, you can activate these glands and these elixirs get transmitted through your fucking spinal cord, through your kundalini and shit, all the way to your first eye, and it opens up shit. It's all inward. It's all innerly. Don't have nothing to do with some outside shit. No guy being born in a fucking manger.
Right.
The fucking manger, they're talking about your goddamn gastrointestines.
Right.
The Christ that's being born tonight, the Christ that better be born is the Christ within. Celebrating some shit, some fucking commercialized bullshit that separates you from your money.
Right. I mean, at this point, it's too much knowledge out here for you to still be celebrating. I understand the gathering of the kid folk and everything. That's a positive thing. But other than that, if you get caught up in the energy of it and you're letting people who are doing spells on you, you know what I'm saying, fulfill their ritual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their ritual.
So they can reach their profits and their earnings next quarter.
Right.
Thanks to you. And they stock go up.
Right. Well, with that, brother, we'll come back next week with another impactful show. We be hitting them on the head. I'll be going back to these shows, man. I'll be like, damn, we be hitting them on the fucking head.
I know, man. I'm waiting. Yeah. I'm waiting for them to send some goddamn some fucking mechanical flies over here trying to get me and shit so we
They
can't
probably
go in
already
there.
got some, but the thing about it is, like you said, we gotta have these spiritual blockages up for you.
That's
Got to
why
do once
that's
you
why I
do
don't
your
see it.
rituals, bro. On the spirit,
Hmm.
that's why they got an article out about how the CIA was talking about mind over matter and shit techniques and shit. So
Hmm.
y'all gotta realize that they know what's going on. They don't know they not stupid. They
I
not
know.
stupid. What the fuck going on?
I
Boy, I
know.
gotta go now, brother.
Okay. All right.
All right, peace. Out.
All right. Peace. Yes.